up, guys? Peace and light to all of you. It is me, Traveling Sister, and I'm coming to you from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. We've been down here for probably 3 weeks now, almost 3 weeks. We came down at the beginning of the month to meet up with some friends and meet up with some family. Right now, we're staying at the home gallery of my homeboy Innocent. And I'll give you guys a tour of that later. It's really cool, and we're going to do an interview with him within this video. But yeah, we came down to visit some friends and family, came down to get the ball rolling on planning the wedding, which is really exciting. And yeah, this is another Q&A video, okay? So I want to start off this video a little differently. This is something that's kind of weighing heavy on my heart right now, and it's actually kind of heartbreaking, okay? So I got in contact with a sister who came out to Arusha back in June, and she has, well, actually she's been trying to get in contact with me. She sent me an email, and I guess, you know, I overlooked it through all the emails that I get constantly to my inbox. And you know, she's been trying to contact me because she was planning on moving out to Arusha. She just left a few days ago, and you guys, it really breaks my heart because this sister had came out here with the intentions of moving, with an open heart, with a love for the place, and she came to see how it was, and she ended up ultimately losing a big sum of money. She ended up linking up with some people who she thought she could trust, but ultimately she was charged like $500 US for 1 month for a bedroom in a house. Okay, this is not a house, this is just a bedroom in a house. And then the next month they charged her $700 US, you know, and like, oh, it just hurts me, you know what I'm saying? It hurts me that she did not have a good experience out here. The person who she linked up, who, you know, she trusted, is the person who led her to this place, you know. And you guys, I just want to stress so much that, like, you really have to be careful. And I ended up being in contact with her because she actually went through my videos and found my home. You guys, she found my house. She came to my house, to our house, while we weren't there, but you know, my fiance's brother was at the house, so you know, we kind of talked on the phone through his phone. But yeah, she did not have a good experience, you know. And so I know that she was probably desperate to, you know, to find me, or desperate to find some type of help, because she lost a lot of money. You guys, that's a lot of money that she could have saved. That's a lot of money that could have been put to use elsewhere. And yeah, she found my home through my videos, and she really just wanted to reach out to me. And I wish, sister, if you listen, I wish you had just, you know, sent me more emails. Like, you guys, if you email me, right? Because I get a lot of emails. If you email me and you're coming out to Tanzania and I don't email you back within 3 or 4 days, email me again, or email me again. And then after that, email me again. You know, like I get a lot of emails, and sometimes it's hard to filter through them all. And matter of fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys my WhatsApp number, like, because I do not want this to happen again. Like, I felt so bad. I still feel bad, you know, that somebody came out here with the intentions to make a new life, and they had a horrible experience and they lost money. That's So my WhatsApp number, and I'm gonna put it in the, you know, in the comment section below, but it's +255. You have to put +255 if you're, you know, doing it on WhatsApp, because that's the country code. +255 62188 1044. You guys, hit me up anytime on WhatsApp. I might not get back to you immediately because sometimes I have my data off, and you know, that's how we conserve data around here. You just turn it off. But I will get back to you, and feel free with that number to hit me up with the questions and, you know, stuff like that, and I'll try to either answer you back directly or I'll put it in a video. But please, you guys, this is a cautionary tale. Like, you have to make sure you trust someone, you know. Otherwise, you're gonna end up losing not only money, but wasting your time, probably losing your sanity, because I mean, I know how it is being in a new place, not knowing anyone, you know. It's frustrating. It can be very frustrating, especially if you don't speak the language. So, you know, and I'm going to roll into the next point. We're working on something to help expats and help people who want to relocate. I'm not going to go into details, but we are definitely working on something very huge, and stay tuned. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, so I want to go ahead and roll right into the Q&A. So this Q&A is a pretty good one. I got most of the questions directly from emails, okay? So I'm going to be reading a little bit out of the email and answering you. Okay, I'm single with no kids, but I plan on bringing my dog. She's gotten me through a lot, and I can't bear the thought of giving her up. My question is, what is the culture in Tanzania when it comes to pet dogs? Do people have pet dogs there? Would I be looked at as strange if I walked down the street with my dog? Also, do you feel like this would affect me negatively on my chances on getting a decent apartment? So, about bringing a dog out here. You can bring your dog out here. There's a set of procedures that you're going to have to go through. Your dog is going to have to be up to date on all of his shots or her shots or whatever. Rabies shot, you know, like deworming and stuff like that. They're going to have all that up to date, and your dog is going to have his or her medical record showing that. I'm not sure if your dog is going to be subject to quarantine. I know when you're moving from country to country, some places do a mandatory 30-day quarantine for any animal coming in or out, but I don't know. I'm not sure on that. But will you be looked at weird if you walk your dog down the street? No, people won't look at you strange, especially like here in Dar es Salaam. There's a lot of expats here, a lot of people with dogs, and you know, they walk their dog down the street on a leash and stuff like that. You might get glanced at, but it's not going to be like, oh my God, look at her walking this dog. No. And there are some people who live with their animals inside the house. It's not common among Tanzanian people to have their dog inside the house on the bed, dressing them up and doing all that stuff. Is not common. That's more of a European thing, or you know, stuff like that. Like, but nobody's really gonna say too much. Like, matter of fact, the first time I came out here, I stayed at an Airbnb, and the girl, she had her dog here. She had her dog like in the house. It was a house dog and stuff like that. Because some dogs, let's face it, some dogs, hey, some dogs are not equipped for the outdoors. Like the dog I had, it was a pug. Come on, can you see a pug just like roaming around outside the whole time? Like, no, it's not. He's not an outside dog. So, yeah, you can live with your dog inside. But people don't dress their dog up and do all that foolishness that they do in the States with the dogs. Yeah, people definitely don't do that. But hey, if you want to do it, then it's your choice. And will having a dog negatively affect your chances on getting an apartment or a house? Nope, absolutely not. Most people I know have dogs out here. Most homes have dogs. But yeah, it's no big deal. They just usually keep the dogs outside. But even if you don't, even if you want to have a house dog, then it's fine. It's all good. Okay, are there any cultural customs that I should know about to avoid making a fool out of myself? So this one is very difficult to answer right off bat, because I mean, I'm still learning about some of the cultural customs. But what I will tell you, as a woman, don't be out here wearing no shorts, okay? And I did express that in one of my other videos. It's not the culture to wear shorts above anything above your knee. Like, it can be above your knee, maybe 1 or 2 inches, and that's kind of pushing it. It's a very conservative culture out here. I don't know if you guys can see what I have on, but it's kind of like this little moo dress type of thing. It's long and it's flowy and it's breezy. So in Dar es Salaam it's hot, but this keeps me cool. Like I wear a lot of little things like this, but it's not the culture for women to be out here wearing shorts and stuff, and that's something I had to get used to. Coming from the States, you know, we could wear anything we want at any time. Now, if you do go out to the club and stuff at night, it's totally fine. Wear your shorts, wear your mini skirts and stuff like that. But during the daytime, especially in heavy traffic areas like markets or bus stations or, you know, stuff like that, don't do it. You're going to get mobbed on, all right? You're going to get looked at, yelled at, like, hey, what are you doing? And possibly surrounded, okay, by 20, 30 people. You know, it's just not going to be a good experience. Other things, culture-wise. One thing that is different that I never really pay attention to is every day, 5, 6 times a day, I don't quite know how many times it is, but it starts even sometimes at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You'll hear a call to prayer because this is a country with a heavy Muslim population, and so the call to prayer is, you know, on the loudspeakers, and if you're near a mosque, then it's going to be very loud. Up in Arusha, where I live, there's a mosque a little ways away, and I do hear the call to prayer in the morning, but it's kind of faint, so you could miss it. But here in Dar es Salaam, the Muslim population is a little heavier than in Arusha, so there's mosques everywhere, and so you will hear the call to prayer loudly in the morning, and it might wake you up. That's one thing to keep in mind. I can't really think of anything too outlandish like that you would make a fool of yourself with when it comes to the culture. People are very, like I told you guys in one of my other videos, people are very trusting, and there's no such thing as personal space, especially if you're on the dollar. I've had people sit their babies on my lap, like Zora's age, on my lap, like not even say hi, like, because it's a crowded bus, so they just come on like, boop, here's the baby, and I'm just like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I can't really think of too many things. Oh, when you go to the market, this is a bartering country, okay? The price is negotiable for almost anything that you want to buy. The only places that are going to have set prices are the supermarkets and like maybe like the high-end clothing stores, but most clothing stores that I've gone to, even if the stuff is brand new in the package, whatever, you can still negotiate. So how does car insurance work out there? Or accident protection? Do most locals have it? So car insurance, there is car insurance, but it does not work in the same way that it works in the States. Like if you get in an accident, then you call your insurance company, you make a claim, and somebody gets paid. It does not work like that. Like, they do have insurance that you need to pay up on, but I'm not quite sure how that works, because if you get in an accident, you better have some money set aside to make repairs to your car, to pay the person if you are at fault for the accident. Yeah, it's really unclear, but it's basically you better take care of yourself, because what I've noticed from a lot of locals and from what a lot of people tell me is that they're not into paying a monthly fee for insurance, life insurance, health insurance, you know, any of that stuff, just in case something happens. What they do is they just set aside the money, you know, they save money and set that money aside for those emergencies. Why pay, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 years on some insurance and you never get in an accident? And that's what, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars you've wasted on insurance. You know, just have the money on deck, and that's how 99.9999% of the people out here do. Yeah, next question. Okay, I've read several articles about witch hunting in Tanzania, even instances as recent as last year. and it makes me kind of anxious. I'm a very spiritual person, and I'm worried that I may become a target if people that are ignorant of my beliefs assume that I'm a witch. Have you heard anything about this? I know you can't believe everything you read, but it has been several sources saying this. Now, you guys, this is a heavy one, okay? I relate to this question a lot because I am a very spiritual person, and I have a lot of different books on spirituality. I have my crystals, I have my sage, I do a lot of like cleansing and full moon rituals and stuff like that. And when you do stuff like that, I suggest highly that, I suggest highly that it's done in the privacy of your own home, okay? Because a lot of people are not open to things like that out here. And yes, there's a possibility that you might be accused of being a witch or something. I don't know. I haven't run into anything too, drastic or anything like that. There was a video on YouTube that I watched probably about a month ago now, and it was set in a remote village. It was kind of a documentary. It was set in a remote village. I don't remember which village it was, but it was outside of the major city, heavy populated areas. And 3 women in this village were accused of being witches. And guess what, you guys? They burned them alive. Okay? These people had families. These people had husbands. And it just, it really bothered me. It bothered me that stuff like this still goes on in 2016. And this video was 2016. But it was, it was scary. It was really scary. And it made me even be more cautious about being open with my beliefs and open with my practices. You know what I'm saying? And I just have to be honest with that, because a lot of people out here, as I said, the main populations are Christian and Muslim. And people are very religious, and if you don't adhere to one of those religions, you're going to get questions like, oh, so what type of religion are you? What do you practice? What do you believe in? And so I just avoid really having that conversation by telling people that I grew up Christian. I'm not lying, because I did grow up Christian. I'm not a practicing Christian. I haven't been for about 6 years now. But yeah, I don't give people any more information because it's really none of anybody's business. Now, I do have my close friends who are locals, who I'm very open with, who they know all about me. They know about my beliefs. They know about what I stand for and everything. And so, you guys, as I mentioned before, everything out here is not perfect. Everything out here is not going to be what it is like where you come from, whether that be the States, whether that be the Caribbean, whether it's Europe, wherever. It's different. It's a different lifestyle out here. People have their own belief systems. People are very rooted in their beliefs. And that's that. And I'm not going to say that there isn't a community of people out here of open-minded people. There's quite a good community of open-minded, open-hearted people, non-judgmental people, but it takes time to find that. You have to take time to find your tribe, and I don't know how to direct you to do that. It's your energy, for real, and I really strongly believe that your energy attracts the type of people that are going to be around you. It makes your circle. It creates your circle. And I've curated my circle to a T, because I don't want people around me who harbor on negativity. I don't want closed-minded people around me. I don't want, people who are judgmental, and I try my hardest to filter that out. So another question that I get quite often is about the vaccines and the vaccine requirements to come out here. Now, if you go on the CDC website, it can be really confusing, right? Because they give you the recommendations, all right? Those aren't required. The recommendations, and they have a whole list of recommendations like cholera, hepatitis B, yellow fever, what else? A whole lot, okay? And it's crazy because these vaccines are not required. They are just recommended. And if they're only required if you are coming from an area, like another country, that has, a prominence of yellow fever, of, all these other things. Oh, by the way, there is no vaccine for malaria. You can take anti-malaria tablets, which are kind of expensive, but you can also get anti-malaria medicine out here in Tanzania as well. So I wouldn't rush to go, find like $50 bottle of anti-malaria tablets. But yeah, these vaccines are not required. And I believe, I don't know, call me crazy, but I really believe that it's like some big like game or conspiracy to make people scared to come out here. You know what I'm saying? Because they always, what they show on the media about Africa. I don't even have to go into that. But they always project a negative image of what Africa is. And then, let's say somebody just overcomes that image and thinks about coming out here. Then they bombard you with all these, all these vaccines that they say you're supposed to get, but you're really not. Okay, I didn't get one vaccine. Zora didn't get one vaccine before she came out here, besides, the regular things that babies get, the regular shot schedule that babies get. But all these shots are not necessary, okay, you guys? Everything that they're telling you on this website, on the CDC website, is not necessary. If you're coming from America, nothing is required. I can't tell you what it is if you're coming from the Caribbean, if you're coming from South America, Central America, stuff like that. But yeah, nothing is required. If you're coming from another place in Africa that has the yellow fever, prominence, then they're going to tell you you need your yellow fever vaccine. But no, not required. And you don't have to, break the bank, wreck your mind trying to figure out how to get all these vaccines. Because what I found out on my mother, okay, so my family is going to come out here for the wedding, and everybody's looking at everything they need. And so my mom actually looked into getting these vaccines, getting these as a precaution and everything. But it's probably, she said it's going to cost somewhere around $500 just to get this smorgasbord of vaccines that they say that, she needs. But, you don't, because half of the vaccines, they're not readily available in the hospitals. The hospitals have to order them. So that's going to take time, which of course is going to take extra money. Like, it's just, yeah, don't worry about it. If you're coming from the States, don't worry. You don't need all the vaccines that's on the CDC website. And look at the wording. It says recommended, not required. Okay? So the next question is about the border crossing and about visas. The visa that I recommend that you get if you're visiting would be a visitor's visa. And those are $100 a piece for the U.S. If you're from a lot of places in the Caribbean, it's free. If you are from Europe, I believe it's $50 U.S. I'm not sure. You can look that up. But yeah, you can do that. And it's going to be a multiple entry visa if you're coming from the U.S. They don't allow single entry visas, which are $50 in U.S. currency. They don't allow that for Americans. For some odd reason, we have to get a multiple entry visa. And yeah, that is just what it says, a multiple entry. So this visa is good for 1 year, right? Its expiration date is from like the day that you're there, the day that you arrive, to 1 year after that date. It's good for that period of time. But every 90 days, every 3 months, you have to go and get a stamp saying you left the country and you returned. So in October, I'm planning to go to Nairobi to, you know, to get that stamp. And check out Nairobi, see what that's about, and I'll also be making a video for that. But yeah, that's that. It's not too complicated. I know quite a few people who've been out here on tourist visas and rode them out, honey. Like, rode them out for years. I don't recommend it. Even last time I came, I was here from December all the way up until October, right? That's what, 10 months I was here. And I left the country one time. I did not leave the country every 90 days like I was supposed to. And I didn't run into any problems. I read a couple articles saying that if you don't keep up with the stamps and don't keep up with everything like you're supposed to, when you're leaving the country, they could possibly charge you money. They might try to charge you money, like X amount of dollars for every day that you stay over. They didn't do that to me. They just looked at my book and was like, okay, peace. You know, like, so I don't know if that was just the immigration officer at that, you know, or the customs person, whatever, but I would suggest to all of you guys that you adhere to the procedures, because, I mean, it would suck to get hemmed up and have to pay some extra money out of pocket that you do not expect to be paying. So, yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else that you guys should know? I don't think so. I think that concludes the Q&A session, but again, you guys, like, just a word of caution, you know, when you come out here, contact me, you know what I'm saying? You can't be so trusting of everybody. And yes, I know I have just went on and on and on about how loving and peaceful and trustworthy the people are in Tanzania, but it's not, you have to, you know, you have to exercise some wisdom as well. Like, it's not everyone. Just like in the US, it's not everyone who you can trust. Just like in Europe, just like anywhere you go in the world, you know, you can't trust everybody. But I have received an overwhelming amount of love since I've been here. And people not after my money. Nobody's asking me for money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's overcharged me a ridiculous amount for things. Like, yes, I might have gone to the store and got overcharged for a dress or a pair of shoes or whatever, but when it comes to lodging and stuff, your best bet is Airbnb. There's no way in hell, if I had really got in contact with that sister, there's no way I would have allowed her to pay $500 US or $700 US for a bedroom in a house. No. Like, Airbnb, like I said, that's your best bet. So many different prices on Airbnb. Like, if you pay $500 for 1 month, then best believe you're going to be getting something ultra lavish, you know, and it's probably going to be a house. For one, it's probably going to be a house. So those are home prices per month. Like, if you want a home, that's the price you're going to be paying for a full home, not a bedroom. But yeah, my heart really hurts for her. Like, she said she'd probably never be coming back here. And I'm like, damn, I just wish I had saw the email. I really do. So again, please do not hesitate to hit me up. Please don't hesitate to hop on my email or WhatsApp. And like I said, if I don't see the email me again in 3 days. If I don't see that one, email me again in 3 days after that. Like, I don't want this to happen to anybody else. Even if I have to open our personal home to you guys, like, for a couple days, I mean, I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen to anybody. But yeah, like I said, stay tuned. We do have something in the works for you guys, something that's pretty big, and I know you guys are going to be excited about it, just as excited as we are. So yeah, that's it. That's going to conclude my video. I don't want to ramble on, but y'all know what it is. I love y'all. Peace, peace. Hit your girl up.